Hello, football fans, and welcome to this broadcast of Lamar Viking Varsity Football, brought to you by the Lamar Football Booster Club. It's Friday Night Lights time here in Arlington, Texas. We are at Cravens Field on the campus of Lamar High School. It's the Fossil Ridge Panthers out of Keller versus the Lamar Vikings, and the season opener for both, and then, of course, the home opener for the Lamar Vikings. It's an exciting time when football season gets started here in Texas. We are just about 8 minutes away from opening kickoff. The Lamar Viking football team is coming out of the locker room, doing things a little bit differently this year. Instead of coming out of the field house over at the main campus, they're sharing the locker room facility. And they have a brand new big run-through tunnel that the Booster Club bought this year. A little bit of history on this series. Lamar leads this series 3-1, including the only previous meeting at Cravens Field. Now, last season, Lamar finished 5th in District 4-6A, just missing the playoffs after a couple of heartbreaking losses that could have put them into the playoffs. So they sat out in postseason. Keller Fossil Ridge advanced to Division II regional semifinals before losing to Mansfield 34-29. Now, on opening nights, Lamar is 28-17-1 and has won 17 of its last 24 season openers. Fossil Ridge has won its last 4 openers in a row. The games that they've played against each other, most recently last year, 2016, over at Keller, Fossil Ridge won 41-31. But in 09, over in Keller, Lamar won 34-31. And in 08, here at Cravens Field, Lamar won 41-30. And then in the year 2000, Lamar beat Fossil Ridge 24-21 at Texas Stadium. We're just a few minutes away now from both teams entering the field. Captains are coming out, getting ready to go out to midfield for the coin toss.
Tonight's game, referee Ryan Vance, umpire Mike Pierce, head linesman Dwayne Arby, line judge Ian Todd, and back judge Christopher Pucci. Gentlemen, have a good game. Thank you for your service.
49-75, 93-5. Yeah, 49.
The captains for the Lamar Vikings this year are going to be number 5, Caden Hadawi, number 23, Jalen Jones, number 10, Dayton Dubs, number 29, Bobby Brown, number 20, Cade Tresh, number 75, Preston Taylor.
For Lamar, it's number 5, Caden Hadawi.
23.
Number 23 is Jalen Jones.
10.
Number 10 is Dayton Dubs.
29.
Number 29 is Bobby Brown.
And the captains are now out at midfield with a couple of the officials. They're getting ready to do the coin toss.
Coin toss at the center of the field. Yes.
And the coin is tossed up in the air. Lamar has won the toss, and they're going to defer their option until the second half. Lamar's going to start off defending the north end zone, so they'll be moving left to right if you're following the way we're looking at things. Nope, they're going to switch it off now.
Will receive. Lamar will defend the south.
Lamar's going to kick off, defending the south end zone, so they'll be moving right to left as we describe things. Fossil Ridge Panthers will be receiving the opening kickoff, defending the north end zone, going left to right. And now the Lamar Vikings football team is running onto the field, following the student council officers, bringing out the VFND, LHS, and Viking flags. And now the Fossil Ridge Panthers are entering the field.
Fossil Ridge Panthers.
Some other games of interest tonight that folks in Arlington and this district might be interested in. Martin High School is over in Dallas at Forrester Field, taking on the Dallas Skyline Raiders. Arlington is hosting South Grand Prairie Warriors at Maverick Stadium on the UTA campus. Mansfield High School Tigers are playing the Summit High School Jaguars, Mansfield being in the district that the 6A district that, or 6-4A that district that Arlington Lamar plays in, along with the other Arlington schools. North Crowley Panthers are hosting the Colony Cougars, and Fort Worth Pascal Panthers are hosting the Irving Tigers over at Farrington Field in Fort Worth. We'll try to keep you all updated with any of the scores that we get through the evening. And one more game is Sam Houston Texans over at Wildman Field across town here in Arlington are hosting the North Mesquite Stallions tonight. And it looks like we're about ready for the national anthem. Everyone's focusing their attention toward the flag atop the pole at the north end of the stadium.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. And if you have a hat on, please remove it. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise.
Please for our new flag donated to us from Rotary at the north end of the field. Our band will now play our national anthem.
I just silenced myself while this. Well, hopefully you were able to just hear the national anthem played by the Lamar Viking band to get things started off here. Lamar Vikings have quite a few returning starters coming back. They did graduate some talent, but we have a lot of talent that has come up from the junior year level and some guys that have moved up from JV and even freshman football. We'll see them tonight. And quite a few of the seniors are looking at some potential Division I, Division II offers. Got some real talent out there like Bobby Brown, some other guys, some other the returning seniors that provide some talent. Sometimes don't get their names called out a lot. Preston Taylor playing on the line. Connor Lowen is a junior. Jaron Roseman is a senior.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the Vikings will kick off. The Panthers will receive.
Coach DeLay is also putting together one heck of a great coaching staff, bringing on some new coaches and building up that staff, earning a lot of respect and getting the kids to really buy into a great program here. And he's come up with a theme for this year that, again, he suggested it and everyone bought into it. And the theme is one team, one unit, one community, all the way up and down. Practices, drills, and games. Everyone's got the same thing in mind. And the teams have taken the field. The ball is getting placed on the tee.
Who's kicking off for us these days? Kicking off for Lamar.
Kicker for Lamar, Juan Villegas will be doing the kicking. I think he has some soccer experience, so he's got a great And the kick is off. We're underway. And it's returned by number 7. He goes from the 15 to the 20, out past the 25. That's Emmanuel Sutton. Now he starts as a defensive back, but he's out there starting on the kick return team. So he gets about 20 yards on the return. And the Panthers will start 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. So we're going to get a chance to see how the Viking defense can do. Hopefully start off with a no-score drive and maybe even a 3-and-out.
The quarterback, Code Kraft, number 2.
Quarterback Cobe Kraft is in the backfield. He starts off with a pass out to the left flat. Looks like it was number 11.
Pass complete to number 11, Trevor Kuzi. Tackle 14. Tackle by 14.
No, it was.
Oh, the
no, sorry. Receiver was.
Correction, Jalen Hurst was the receiver, number 14.
Looks like Jalen Hurst, number 14, was actually the receiver. About a 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6 at the 34. Here's the snap. Quarterback keeper, he tries to go up the middle, but he's wrapped up. The tackle led by number 29. That'll be Bobby Brown, who's looking to go play some Division I ball. 1-yard gain out to the 35-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and 5. So far, the Viking defense not bending too much. Got twins left and twins right for receivers. Got one back with the quarterback. Here's a snap. He looks, throws around to number 5, Stephen Cobbs, and he may be going all the way as he crosses 20, 10, 5, and that'll be a 65-yard touchdown pass and run. And most of that yardage came after the catch, which was just almost over the middle off to the right-hand side of dead center. Probably it was about a 5 to 7 yard in the air pass, and then he ran the last 56, 57 yards. So just like that, the Panthers go up 6-0. We're waiting for the point after.
Number 1, Eduardo Mercado will attempt the point after.
Eduardo Mercado is the kicker for the Panthers. Kick is up, and it makes it through the uprights. And just like that, with a minute and 40 seconds ticked off the clock, it's 7-0 in favor of the Panthers. So one thing Coach DeLay has talked to me a couple of times on the coaches' shows is trying not to give up the big play. They're willing to give up some short gains out to the flats, but they're trying to keep the containment to prevent the big plays like we just saw. So something to work on here for the rest of the game tonight on defense. Well, the coaches have the Lamar Vikings getting ready to kick off or receive the next kickoff. They're on the just inside the playing field off the sideline, about the 42-yard line, getting some instructions.
So, Bill, I'll jump in here. Can you hear me?
I believe I can.
All right. You hear me in the background, so those that are listening in, you hear me as PA, so I'll try not to have my mic open too much. But that was a surprise play by the Panthers. They were wide open on that receiver, and he just ran like crazy.
Yeah, he did have a burst of acceleration once he caught the ball, and he was off to the races. Deep back for the Vikings, number 1, Deshaun Gaddy, number 19, Trevon West. I saw Trevon West, I think it's his brother, playing in freshman football game last night. I'll talk about that here when we get a chance. The freshman teams, both A and B, looking good last night. Kick is up in the air. It's a short kick. It's going to be fielded at the 26 by Matthew Shaw. And he goes kind of up the middle, so to speak. And he's going to get about 8 yards on that return, give or take. They're going to put the ball. It's always interesting to where they're going to spot it at the 34-yard line. So the Vikings will take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line, and we'll get a chance to see what they'll do on offense now. And so here's the answer to the question. Coach wouldn't give us any hints on the coaches show. Jack Dawson, the sophomore, is coming out starting at quarterback. We have trips right, single receiver left. Here's the snap. Fake handoff, and it's a throw out to the 40-yard line. It's a little bit low, but it is a catch. Number 23, Jalen Jones. Jalen Jones had to dive down to pick that ball up, but he got his hands under it, and that's a good catch for 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Vikings. Now we've got trips left and a single right. Snap, Dawson. It's a handoff. It's going to come around this side of the field. He's looking for a hole, but he's going to get tackled for a loss. That's number 24, Cameron Escobedo. Number 9 on the tackle, Jacob Fernandez on the tackle for the Panthers. That's going to be a loss of 2 yards back to the 38-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 6.
Loss of 2 yards.
Now we've got 2 in the backfield with Dawson. Here's the snap. He drops back, has some protection. That is almost intercepted, but there's a flag over there.
For number 23.
And the pass was intended for Jalen Jones. He was the one that caught that low pass earlier.
24 was the defender.
Now, defending on the play was number 24, Cole Crawford for the Panthers. But we're going to see what the flag is all about. It looks like defensive holding. That should be a 10-yard penalty with an automatic 1st down, and it will be. So that'll move the chains. They're going to do that from the previous line of scrimmage.
10-yard penalty.
And that's going to put the ball at the 48-yard line. So 1st and 10 Vikings, new life with a new series of downs. 2 backs with Dawson. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Looks like that'll be number 26, Desmond Moultrie, taking the...
As an off number 26, Moultrie.
26 and 27 on defense.
And on defense, on that tackle, number 26, Marco Olivas, and number 27, Caden Cedillo. 2-yard gain to the 50-yard line. 2nd down and 8. Got twins right, single receiver left, 2 in the backfield with Dawson again. Dawson rolls back. He's looking. He's protection breaks down. He's going to have to run. He's across the 50-45. He's scrambling around. He's going to get the 1st down to the 41-yard line. So that's about a 9-yard gain, and that's good for Lamar Viking 1st down. Tell you what, Dawson was scrambling for his life, looking for a place to go. He saw a seam, and he had to juke sideways back and forth a little bit. 1st and 10 Vikings at the 41-yard line in Panther territory. Got twins left and twins right. We've got number 26 in the backfield, Moultrie with Jack Dawson.
Moultrie in the backfield with Dawson.
Here's a snap. It's a handoff to Moultrie. He goes just over the left hole on the line of scrimmage. And the ball comes loose and is picked up by number 9, Jacob Fernandez. And he is going to be brought down by number 10, Dayton Dubs, down at the 20-yard line. And I think the ball was basically stolen out of there.
Picked up by Fernandez, number 9.
So just as the Vikings were getting something moving here, number 10, Dayton Dubs, chased him down and saved the tackle. But just as they were getting something going, now the Vikings on defense again, trailing 7-0 with 7:34 to go in the 1st quarter. Panthers are going to have the ball 1st and 10 at the Viking 21-yard line. Hopefully we'll have the pass situation contained a little bit better, so don't give up a big play here. Got twins left, twins right for the Panthers. Got one back in the backfield with the quarterback, Cobe Kraft. Looks like it's number 20, Andrew Ramos, is in the backfield.
Ramos, the tailback, to his left. Twins left and right.
Here's the snap. Kraft throws over to the left side. It's caught by number 11, Trevor Cozy. Number 6, Khalifa Gar on the tackle for the Vikings. We're going to hear his name quite a bit. Gar, one heck of a defender out there.
Gain of 2 yards, 2nd down.
2-yard gain, so it's going to be 2nd down and 8 for the Panthers at the 19-yard line.
From the 19.
Kraft takes the snap. He looks again to the left side. Is caught by number 14, Jalen Hurst, and he's tackled again by Khalifa Gar. So not a big play, but 2 throws and catches out to the flat. And now it's going to be 3rd down and a short 1 yard, less than a yard to go. Looks like it's 3rd down and about a foot. In fact, the chain gang thought that that was a 1st down. They started to move, and the line judge said, nope, hold it back, guys. And now there's a stoppage in play for some reason. Okay, the line judge is checking the little marker they use on the chain to make sure everything is in proper place. They're going to come out and measure. It looks like, because that was pretty close.
Looks like an official timeout for a measurement.
Now you might say, well, why couldn't they tell where he ran out of bounds? Well, what it comes down to is where the ball is placed on the field. And so they bring the chains out with the marker at the nearest 5 or 10 yard increment line. But now, no, it looks like they're not going to measure. Maybe they were just resetting things. Okay, 3rd down and less than a foot to go for the Panthers at about the 11 yard line of the Vikings. Got 2 receivers right, 1 left. Looks like number 10, Cleon Evans in the backfield. It's going to be a keeper by Kraft, but there's a flag on the play. And there's a timeout called by the Panthers. Now that's interesting because the players didn't know about it. The coaches must have seen something they didn't like. That play would have ended up with a 1st down. So maybe a break for the Vikings here. So last night I was up here announcing the 2 freshman games, A team and B team. B team beat Keller Ridge freshman B team. I think it was like 38-0, and then the A teams played, and the Viking A team won 53-8. So lots of offensive power last night. So we've got some definite good talent moving up, and it's interesting to see the teams from Nichols Junior High and Shackelford Junior High that feed in together and how they come together and play so well. We're back to live action now. And we've got a challenge here with the clock. I think it's a different clock system. They're going to keep time on the field for now. Okay, quarterback keeper by Kraft. He goes up the middle. He'll have the 1st down. Looks like number 33.
Kraft, the ball carrier.
Number 33, Javon Moore, in on the tackle. So 1st and goal at the 9 yard, or no, they're about in the, about the 9 yard line. Number 10 has the ball. He moves around the right side. There's a flag on the play. He's pushing and shoving players out of his way. There's a signal of a touchdown. However, there is a flag on the play back at the 10 yard line, and that could be in the area of offensive holding.
In on the tackle, Adawi and Huggins.
They're coming back. I don't think that touchdown is going to stand. It's holding against the Panthers.
Holding against the Panthers is the call.
Now, making the stop over there around the goal line were Caden Hadawi and Huggins. Of course, that play won't go into the books at all due to the holding. Looks like it's 4 minutes. 34. Try 4:34 on the clock is what I think they're signaling to us. I think we have everything now set back again. Sometimes new equipment can provide a challenge, and what happened up here was I think when they went into a timeout mode, it started a 60-second clock that surprised some people, and now it looks like we're back good.
6-1-0.
6 minutes, 10 seconds is what they're calling for now. Yeah, that's what it can. Oh, you got one extra zero there. We're going to get things straightened out here.
There we go, 6-10.
All right, so officially there's 6 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. And now the clock is going to begin rolling.
Goal from the 19-yard line.
So after the penalties, first and goal for the Panthers at the 19-yard line. Here's a snap. It's going to be a handoff to number 20. That'll be Andrew Ramos. He goes up the middle, across the 10, across the 5, and he's going to be stopped at about the 2-yard line. So that's going to be a 17-yard gain. Daniel Huggins made the stop for the Vikings, and that'll be second and goal at the 2-yard line.
Second and goal at the 2.
And here's the snap. It's a quarterback keeper. He goes up the middle. Ball's loose on the ground.
Fumble on
It's
the play was recovered.
recovered by the quarterback, but it's going to be for a loss now. Looked like he had a pretty good hold to get up into the end zone. He was hit hard, and the ball came loose. And now the ball is spotted back at the 6-yard line. So it'll be third and goal at the 6. So the Viking defense, as it gets tight in there with not much room for the Panthers to throw deep and move around, providing to be pretty tough down there, short distance. So we are third and 6, third down play. This is a big play for the Vikings as they trail 7-0.
Kraft is taking the snap. Tailback is Andrew Ramos.
Kraft takes a snap. He throws over the middle, and that's going to be a touchdown pass caught by number 5, Stefan Cobbs.
Touchdown, Panthers.
So Cobbs was wide open. No one defending him. Everyone seemed to be looking for that run up the middle around the end. And they dropped back and did a pass over the middle right into the dead center of the end zone for the touchdown. And that now brings the score to 13-0 with 4:27 to play. Out to kick is going to be number 1, Eduardo Mercado.
Eduardo Mercado to kick the point after. Kuzi holding the ball.
Here's the snap, the bobbled snap. The kick is up, but it is good.
Kick is good.
Looked like he was going to have some trouble getting that ball up on the tee. Is a low snap. Number 11, Trevor Kuzi, is the holder.
21 yards.
But they came through, and now the Panthers lead 14-0 with 4:27 to go. So far, it's the passing defense which is struggling for the Vikings, as well as the turnover once we were down into Panther territory. The scoring drive for Fossil Ridge was a 21-yard drive, 5 plays, 1 first down.
Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to stop by the Pride of Lamar Spirit Table and purchase some spirit wear from the Lamar Band. Their spirit table is located in the northwest corner of the home stands across from the football spirit table.
So the Vikings find themselves in a hole, but they can make it back. They don't have to panic. They just need to settle down and play good football, protect the football on offense, not turn it over. And they've got to find a way to contain that kind of over-the-middle passing game.
19 West.
Deep back for the Vikings, number 1, Deshaun Gaddy. And then number 19, Trevon West. And set to kick off for the Panthers, number 1, Eduardo Mercado. Now last time he kicked it a little bit short and it was fielded at the 26. We'll see what he does here. It's another short pooch kick. It's going to be fielded at the 29-yard line. It's run up the middle to the 35. Not going down easy. And that's where the tackle is going to be made at about the 36-yard line. This is like number 22, Cedric Davis, fielded that kick at the 29-yard line. He got about 7 yards on that return out to the 36-yard line. So the Vikings will start off another drive, 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line. Trying to get some momentum going and punch it into the end zone and keep this score from getting out of hand quickly.
Jack Dawson, number 7, the quarterback.
Dawson in again at quarterback. Got twins left, one receiver right. It's a handoff up the middle. Number 26, the ball carrier. The Desmond Moultrie. He's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage, it looks like. Tacklers were number 93, Alex Alvarado, and number 94, Rafael Hernandez. So barely getting back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Vikings at their own 36-yard line. 3:51 to go in the first quarter. Here's a snap. It's handed off to, no, it's a fake handoff. It's a pass over the middle, and it's caught for a 1st down inside Fossil Ridge territory. Number 19, Trevon West, leapt up. He was pretty much all alone. Brought that down, and he's at the 42-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Vikings, and there's the spark that we needed. 22-yard ball in the air, caught, and went down immediately. So 1st and 10 now for the Vikings with some momentum. Here's the snap. It's a handoff to no. It's not a handoff. He's a good fake. It's a pass out to number 23 in the flat. He gets over the 40-yard line to the 35. That'll be Jalen Jones that made that catch and then ran. Number 26 was the tackler. That'll be Marco Olivas. That's going to bring up 2nd down and about 4 for the Vikings at the 37-yard line. Twins left, one right. Now we've got a man in motion behind. It's a handoff up the middle to the 35, to the 34 possibly. That's going to be at the 35-yard line. So about a 2-yard gain.
Number 26.
Moultrie was the carrier there.
Desmond Moultrie.
3rd down and about 3 now at the 35-yard line for the Vikings inside Panther territory.
3 from the 35.
2:30 to go in the first quarter. 2 receivers left. It's a handoff. No, it's not. It's a pass out to the left flat. It's complete. Jalen Jones across the 30 to the 25, and that'll be good for a Viking 1st down. Tacklers on the play were number 24, Cole Crawford, number 19, DeMarcus Jones. The ball's at the 25-yard line, 1st and 10. So now our passing game is catching the Fossil Ridge Panthers off guard. We've got 3 receivers right this time, 1 left. Moultrie in the backfield with Dawson. Read option. Dawson kept it. He falls backwards at the 31-yard line. Number 33 of the Panthers made that tackle, Klein Mulongo.
Number 33.
So a loss of yardage, and this is what Coach DeLay has said we don't want to do. We don't want to get behind the chains. We want to stay in front of the chains. And now it's going to be 2nd down and 13 at the 28-yard line. Dawson takes a snap. He steps back. He throws deep across the middle, and it's going to be, and it's going to be a flag on the play. That's going to be defensive pass interference. The ball looked like it might have been overthrown. Jalen Jones, number 23, was the intended receiver. He kind of got mauled. And so that's going to be a 15-yard and automatic 1st down. So that gives another spark of life to the Vikings. There's the official call by the Signals. Defensive pass interference. So that'll be a 15-yard penalty and an automatic 1st down. The ball is spotted. Looking for the line judge. It looks like it's right on the 10-yard line. So 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. Now they're moving it back some. I think they were trying to figure out where the previous line of scrimmage was. Nope, let's see who. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. They're going to say it's at the 12, no, the 13-yard line. So 1st and 10 instead of 1st and goal. 1st and 10 at the 13. Here's the snap. Moultrie up the middle. He's across the 10 to about the 9-yard line. So Moultrie's going to get 4 yards to the 9-yard line. Best we could tell, number 26, Olivas, and number 27, Cedillo on the stop for the Panthers. So Moultrie getting a good workout today. And Jack Dawson plays that read option very well. It's hard to tell if he actually does the handoff or not. Here's the snap. Read option. It's a pass over the middle. Touchdown, Vikings! Number 19, Trevon West catches that ball in the end zone. Another beautiful read option by Jack Dawson, faking the handoff or pulling it back from Moultrie, who was going to go up the middle. Then he saw Trevon West wide open across the middle in the middle of the end zone. And that puts the Vikings on the board, makes it 14-6, waiting for the point after. And now we're going to get to see Juan Villegas come out and try the point after. Jack Dawson, the quarterback, will do the holding. And everyone jumped around. A flag does come out. The kick is signaled good. I think that's going to be offsides, but we'll see what the officials say. Yep. Offsides penalty will be declined. And I think our deep snapper is Connor Lowen. I'm not sure. Well, just like that now, with 55 seconds to go in the first quarter, the Vikings have narrowed the gap. They're down 14-7 now.
The Vikings 54 yards, 7 plays, 3 first downs.
And some of the Stuco officers running down the field with the LHS, VFND, and the Viking flags.
For the touchdown, Lamar 7.
The scoring drive for the Vikings, 54 yards, 7 plays, 3 first downs, including the one with the important pass interference call, and the capped off, of course, by the 13-yard touchdown play, a 9-yard touchdown play, excuse me. So 14-7, that was much needed for the Vikings to make sure they don't lose confidence or start getting dejected with the Panthers scoring the first 2 times in the game. So set to kick off is going to be Juan Villegas. I think they found his talent on the soccer team, and he's been doing a great job last year and this year. Back deep for the Panthers, number 7, Emmanuel Sutton.
Emmanuel Sutton, number 7.
Number 5, Stefan Cobbs are deep. And here's the kick. And it's a short pooch kick, a signal for a fair catch at the 32.
Kick is fair caught at the 32.
And so that's where you will see the Panthers. It was number 11, Trevor Kuzi, does the fair catch. So they'll have good starting field possession, but no return, as the pooch kick pretty much said you're going to have to do a fair catch because he would have been hit immediately.
At the 33-yard line.
So 1st and 10 for the Panthers at their own 33-yard line. Now we'll get a chance to see again what will happen with our defense and how will we cover the pass.
Cope Kraft, number 2, the quarterback. Who's the tailback?
Cope Kraft, the quarterback for the Panthers. You have stacked receivers left and right. Steps back. It's a handoff up the middle. He's going to be met immediately
Takes the handoff.
right at the line of scrimmage, so no gain on the play. Looked like it was number 20, Andrew Ramos, the carrier. On the stop, number 29, Bobby Brown, and number 20, Cade Tresh. Cade Tresh, also a baseball player for the Vikings, plays some catcher. Bobby Brown headed to a Division I school of his choice soon. Stacked receivers left and right again. Here's the handoff to number 20. He's met immediately in the backfield, this time for a loss. And number 29, Bobby Brown. And as they like to say sometimes, he was born in their backfield. Our defensive line has found out how to penetrate the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1 yard. Ramos was the ball carrier for the Panthers, and now they find themselves in a 3rd and 11 situation as time expires in the first quarter. So at the end of the first quarter, Fossil Ridge leads 14-7. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes with the second quarter. So as we get ready for the second quarter to begin, I've got a couple of scores around here. Martin High School is leading Skyline 14-0 at the end of their first quarter. Arlington High is leading 3-0 over South Grand Prairie with 1:24 to go in their first quarter. We're back to live action here. Cope Kraft is the quarterback for the Panthers. It's 3rd and 11 for them at their own 32-yard line. See if the Viking defense can have a good stand here and get the ball turned back over to them. It's going to be a pass over to the right-hand side. Oh, my gosh, and it's a catch down at the 42-yard line.
Pass is complete down to the 45-yard line.
Oh, wait, is he saying no? The official's saying he hit the ground. Okay. I was about to say, if he laid out for that catch, and the ref was right there with the right line of sight, and he says, no, the ball hit the turf. And I didn't see a call immediately, so I thought it was a catch, but now with that incomplete pass, it's going to be 4th and 11. Big difference in the situation for the Fossil Ridge Panthers. The ball was just a little bit overthrown. The receiver had to lay out for it. And fortunately for the Vikings, weren't able to actually pull that catch in. So now 4th and 11. Now they're setting up like a typical play, but it looks like the quarterback's going to probably step back in a punt situation. Or are they going to go for it? Yep, he's stepping back a little bit more now. Does a quick kick. Now there's a flag on the play. It looks like we're going to have illegal procedure against, false start against Fossil Ridge. So now it'll be 4th and 16. They tried a little bit of a, not quite a trick play, but the quarterback wasn't all the way back into punt formation. He took a couple of steps back, and as he was moving, someone on the line of scrimmage moved, drew the flag, and now it'll be 4th and 16 from their own 27. We'll see if he goes ahead and steps up. No, he's only about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage now. Now he takes one step back, and now it's flags again. Another false start. It looks like Fossil Ridge doesn't know how to pull off the punt play. That time apparently the center might have moved. So now it's going to be 4th down and 21 from their own 22-yard line.
Back to the 22-yard line. 4th down and 21.
And now they're bringing the actual punt team onto the field. The coaches, I guess, saying we've had enough of this. Let's just come out in regular punt formation before we get backed up into our own end zone. So it looks like the punter for Fossil Ridge is going to be number 39, Gonzalo Berlingeri.
Berlingeri into punts.
Berlingeri, excuse me. Now someone's giving me that pronunciation, but I don't know if I should trust them. There's a punt. It goes up in the air. It's going to be falling at the 45 inside Fossil Ridge territory, rolls across the 50, across the 45, and it's going to be down at the Lamar 44-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Vikings. So after
Their own 44-yard line.
some false start penalties on some punt attempts by the offensive squad, then they brought out the actual punt team. The Vikings will start off this drive in good field position, trailing 14-7, but now have a chance to even up the score if they can get a sustained drive and get it in the end zone. So we've got 2 receivers right, 1 receiver left. Dawson, the quarterback.
In the snap.
Dawson throws over to the left flat. It's in and out of the hands of number 19, I believe, or number 10, Dayton Dubs.
Number 10, incomplete. 2nd down.
Ball was pretty much right to the proper place, thrown pretty good, but in and out of the hands. Defending on the play might have been number 4, Francis Nandozi. All right, 2nd and 10.
Number 4.
Oh, a fake handoff, and it's a pass over to the left side, and it's going to be about a 2-yard gain before he's run out of bounds. Wow, the defensive line keyed on what they thought was going to be the handoff to Michael Bradley. He took a hit, but Dawson kept the ball, threw it over the left side. Now it's going to be 3rd down and 8 at the 46-yard line. Jalen Jones made that reception. So it's 3rd down and 8 at the 46-yard line. Two receivers left, two receivers right. Looks like a pass play. Dawson, the quarterback, steps back, looks to his left. He's under pressure. He throws deep. And now, wow, it was well overthrown. I think the official had the chance to call either defensive holding or interference, but I think he's going to say that was uncatchable. Peyton Dubs was the closest receiver in the same area code, and I think they're going to say that was uncatchable. He was touched and interfered with, if you will, but I believe the officials have the right call there that he wasn't going to be able to catch that ball. Dawson was under some pretty good pressure there as he was trying to avoid a sack and then took off with it. Yep, Caden Hadawi punts it. It's a high kick. It's a wobbling kick. It rolls back to the 10. It's picked up by number 5. He swings around to the 10, the 15, 20, out to the 30, and he's finally pulled down to the 34-yard line. That was Stefan Cobbs. That punt was rolling around back inside the 15-yard line. Cobbs decided I'll pick it up, and he got about 26 yards or 27 yards. Depends on where they put it. So 1st and 10 for the Panthers at their own 34-yard line. So what looked like was going to be a good punt with pinning them back in some deep field position. Cobbs picked it up and gets them out to the 34, where now the Panthers will start off 1st and 10. The Panthers lead 14-7 with about 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. Kraft the quarterback, Evans the tailback. It's a fake handoff. Kraft is looking for a receiver, throws deep over the middle, and it's going to be intended for number 14, Jalen Hurst, but there's going to be an interference call against number 6, Khalifa Gar. And I'll tell you this, if they say there's good fouls in basketball, that was a good interference call, because I think if Hurst had caught that ball, definitely was going to be a big gain, and he might have been in the end zone after that. So it looks like we'll have the 15-yard penalty with the automatic 1st down for the Panthers.
Pass interference against the Vikings.
That'll bring the ball to the 49-yard line. And that'll be the Panthers' own 49-yard line. 1st and 10. And now we've got 3 receivers left, 2 right for the Panthers. Kraft steps back, throws right away to number 17, but he is met immediately by number 1, Deshaun Gaddy. That's going to be about a 3-yard gain, but as soon as that receiver caught the ball, he was hit by Gaddy and said, "You're not going any further." So now 2nd down and 7 for the Panthers at the 48-yard line. Kraft now throws to the flat this side. Number 5 catches the ball. He's across the 45 to the 40. He's going to be hit there. And he changes pattern, changes his path a little bit. Looks like he's going to be down maybe just shy of the 1st down marker at the 42-yard line. Cade Tresh was one leading the tackle there. 2 or 3 other Vikings in on it. Cobbs was the receiver. It looks like it's going to be 3rd down and 1 for the Panthers at the 42-yard line of the Vikings. Now they're going to come out with 2 in the backfield with the quarterback Kraft. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Or 2 right, 1 left, excuse me. Kraft is going to keep it himself. He finds a hole. He's across the 40, makes a little move, and he's going to get tackled by Gar. Khalifa Gar tackles him, but not before Kraft picks up the 1st down at the 38-yard line.
38-yard line.
So now the Panthers have the ball 1st and 10 at the Viking 38. Looked like he had some chance there to go up the middle, but he brought it around the left side and still picked up 3 or 4 yards. 3 receivers right. Here's the snap. 10 has the ball to the 40, 45, 30, 35, and he's going to be tackled by Daniel Huggins. That was Evans, the ball carrier for Fossil Ridge. He's brought down to the 22-yard line. So that's going to be about a 16-yard gain.
16-yard gain.
And that's 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the Viking 22. Now it's the running game. Well, a short pass and running game. Kraft on the read up the middle across the 15, 10, 5, and he's going to get in the end zone on the read option.
Touchdown from the 22-yard line.
So 22-yard run up the middle on the read option by the quarterback Kraft. And now the score is going to be 20-7 in favor of the Panthers, waiting for the point after. Well, he saw something he liked right away up the middle there because he had the option to hand that ball off, pulled it back, and went 22 yards into the end zone.
Kuzi to hold.
Mercado is the kicker for the extra point. He's a left-footed kicker. Here's a snap. The kick is up, and it's through the uprights. And it's now 21-7 in favor of the Panthers.
Alvarado, number 93, was the snapper.
So Lamar finding himself in a bit of a hole here. 8:58 to go in the second quarter, trailing 21-7. That scoring drive for the Panthers, 66 yards, 5 plays, 2 first downs, including the pass interference. 2:04 off the clock, and the 22-yard run by the quarterback Kraft was the touchdown that ended that drive. Well, the Vikings are going to have to figure out how to make a difference here on the field on both sides of the ball.
Great donations would sure help us out. You can bring a case of Gatorade or Powerade to either the athletic facility or to JV and freshman games or to Sportswear World at 2430 North Davis. Gatorade or Powerade would sure help.
19 letter in the back for Lamar.
Deep for Lamar, number 19, West.
And we're ready for the kickoff. Number 19, Trevon West, and number 1, Deshaun Gaddy are deep for the Vikings.
Number 1 kicking off.
He's been doing some shorter kicks. The ball is straight up and down on the tee, so we think we might see another kind of a pooch kick. No, this one's deeper. It's going to be fielded back inside the 10-yard line by West. He's across the 10, 15, 20, 25. Excuse me. Yeah, it's number 19, West. He gets out to the 30-yard line. So a 21-yard return for Trevon West gives the Vikings good starting field position at the 30-yard line, where it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Vikings. And this is going to be an important drive. They've got to score here to keep this thing from getting out of hand early in the first half. 21-yard return for West. All right, the Vikings come out. You're going to have Moultrie and Jalen Jones in the backfield. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Dawson takes a snap. He hands it off to Moultrie around the 25-30, and he gets pulled down from behind it. Looked kind of like a horse collar, but I don't think he grabbed the shoulder pad. I think he just grabbed jersey. Some fans will say, hey, he pulled him down by that, and that looks like a horse collar, but you got to grab shoulder pad for it to be a horse collar. 1-yard gain for Moultrie there as he came around the close side of the field.
2nd down 9.
2nd down and 9 for the Vikings at the 31-yard line.
Jones and Moultrie in the backfield with Dawson.
Matthew Shaw in motion. Dawson steps back. Now he's being chased down at the 15. Now he comes back to the 20. Now he lost one in the air, and that was, oh my gosh, and it is caught. And Dayton Dubs, it looked like one of those, I just hope someone can catch this and no one intercepts it. That is all the way to the 48-yard line inside Panther territory.
18 yards.
That's a 21-yard pass play.
21 yards on the pass play.
So it's going to be 1st and 10
10 into Panther territory for the Vikings.
for the Vikings. Now inside Panther territory at the 48-yard line. It's going to be a read option. A pass to number 2, Matthew Shaw over the middle. He's to the 35-yard line. And that's going to be another 1st down for the Vikings as Matthew Shaw brings that pass in and gets to the 35-yard line.
Sutton also in on the stop for the Panthers.
The Vikings trying a little bit of an upbeat tempo here. They've got 2 receivers left, 1 right. Dawson steps back, throws over to Moultrie on this side to the 35, and he's not going to make it past the line of scrimmage. Looks like they're going to say he's stopped before he goes out of bounds.
33 leading the charge.
So now it's going to be 2nd down and 10 at the 35-yard line.
2nd and 10.
Well, the officials, I think he went out of bounds, but the officials, I guess, are saying that his forward progress was stopped because they're saying keep the clock rolling. But anyway, here's a handoff up the middle to Moultrie. He's going to get up to the 32-yard line. We'll see where he's spotted down. They say his forward progress is to somewhere around the 33. The tackle was made by number 49, Arnold Sadov. And that looks like it's going to be at the 33-yard line.
3rd down and 7.
So 3rd down and about 8 for the Vikings at the 33-yard line. Here's a snap. Dawson steps back. He's going to throw to the left side. He's got a receiver open. It is caught. Touchdown, Vikings. That's going to be number 10, Dayton Dubs, that makes the catch. He caught the ball at about the 2-yard line, took it into the end zone, 33-yard touchdown pass play. Dawson to Dubs. And just like that, the Vikings are on the scoreboard again, 21-13, waiting for a point after. Dawson immediately rolled to his left after he got the snap, threw deep, and Dubs was open, just ran past his defender covering him, and then had to go 3 more yards into the end zone. The kick is up, and it's good.
That was good by Tresh. The kick is good. 6:31
So
remaining.
Cade Tresh is the deep snapper for the Vikings on these point afters. And now after that kick goes to the uprights, the lead is cut down to 7 again, and it's Fossil Ridge 21, Lamar 14.
3 first downs. Point after is also good.
The Vikings scoring drive was 66 yards, 70 yards, 5 plays, 3 first downs. And it took, not sure how much time off the clock, but there's 6:31 to go. We're a little short-staffed up here tonight. Usually I've got Joe Toronto doing color commentary. We've got Ryan up here helping to spot, but we've got Darren up here doing his best to spot both sides of the line for us. Tim's doing our drive charts. And so about 2:27 off the clock for that possession. So a good, quick scoring drive for the Vikings there to get back to a 7-point deficit. And the Panthers have 3 back deep. It'd be number 7, Sutton.
Sutton, number 7.
Is one of them. Looks like Cobbs is back deep. And we'll see. Some of these players don't just face us in the press box to show us their numbers. They've got 3 deep.
Isaiah Holt, number 22 deep.
Oh, the Vikings came out of their little kick huddle. Looked like they were going to do a really quick, short kickoff, but they pull back into standard formation. Juan Villegas, the kicker. And the kick is up as a pooch kick. It's going to be fair caught at the 25-yard line by number 11. That'll be Trevor Cozy. So the Vikings are trying not to give up the big return. They're sacrificing a little bit of field position in some of these short pooch kicks. And so now it'll be 1st and 10 at the 25 for the Panthers with 6:31 to go.
A lot of other things going on in sports for the Vikings today. Our tennis team is hosting a tournament today against Sam Houston. We wish the team best of luck. And our Lady Viking Volleyball are playing against South Lake Carroll this evening in South Lake. We wish them the best and safe travels as they return back to Arlington.
So the quarterback is number 2, Cobe Kraft, and he's got number 10, Coleon Evans in the backfield with him. 2 receivers left, 2 right. 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now, as they look like they're ready to go for a play, there's a timeout called by Fossil Ridge. Well, the Panthers came out and someone, either the quarterback or the coach, didn't like what they saw.
All right, this
So they have to come off the field and draw up a new plan for this series of downs.
Of 2018 at the JV game on Thursday, September 20.
So we've had an action-packed first half so far. 3 touchdowns scored by the Panthers, 2 by the Vikings. The Vikings now trying to see what they can do to get the ball back and maybe hopefully get another score before the half ends.
Seniors walk across the field for their recognition. You don't want to miss it. September 21, Senior Nights.
2 and 10 in the back. Center of 65.
So we got twins left, twins right again. Got number 10 Evans in the backfield with Kraft, the quarterback. Takes a snap, read option. He's going to throw deep over the middle. It's going to be overthrown. The intended receiver was number 5 Cobbs. Defender looks like Caden Hadawi was back there possibly. Daniel Huggins was back there.
And Dawson deep.
So Deshaun Gaddy, Huggins, and Caden Hadawi were back there covering against that. 2nd down and 10 at the 25-yard line. Kraft takes the snap, steps back immediately. Now he's going to run up the middle toward the left side now. It's going to be across the 30-yard line. Flags on the play as it's going to be holding against the Panthers. Now number 58 for the Vikings, that's Simone Foster, was back there trying to make the play, but he was held, looked like by 2 of the Panther players. That's what allowed Kraft to come around the close side of the field to get some yardage, but this is going to go backwards 10 yards.
Holding called against the Panthers.
So that'll be a 10-yard penalty.
2nd down and 20.
It'll be 2nd down and 20 for the Panthers at their own 15-yard line. Now this is a bright sign because it's going to put them back, but we've seen what they've done sometimes after they get pinned back. They throw deep or run deep. Now they've got 3 receivers right, 1 left. Evans is the running back.
Along with Kraft in the backfield.
It's a handoff to Evans. He goes around the right side, 15, 20, 25. Still going after he gets hit a couple of times, and it looks like he's going to make it to the 26-yard line, maybe the 27. Sam Townsend and Cade Tresh on the tackle for the Vikings. Looks like he got about 12 yards, and that's going to be 3rd down and 8 now. So 3rd down and 8 for the Panthers at their own 27-yard line. Big 3rd down play here for the Viking defense. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Evans in the backfield with Kraft, the quarterback. Here's a snap. Kraft steps back, throws over to the left side. He's got a receiver in the area. And number 14 was the intended receiver. It'll be Hurst. Khalifa Gar, I believe. Khalifa Gar was the defender for the Vikings that broke up that pass. And he played that about as perfectly as you can without getting an interference call. He turned around, looked for the ball, went for the ball, and helped break up that pass. And now it's 4th down and 8. So the Vikings come through with a big 3rd down stand on defense. 4th and 8 for the Panthers. They have the offense out there. Quarterback is in his usual position. Now he steps back 1 yard. Gets the ball, does the short little kick. It goes almost straight up in the air, and it's caught. A fair catch was signaled by number 1, Deshaun Gaddy. So the punt doesn't go very far, as the Vikings will have the ball at the 48-yard line inside Panther territory. So Deshaun Gaddy, it was difficult to see if he did call for fair catch ahead of time. He did, and he took the ball down to the 48. So now the Vikings have a chance with 5:16 to go in the 2nd quarter. See if they can get some more points on the board, possibly tie this thing up. Vikings have 3 receivers right, 1 left. Looks like Moultrie in the backfield.
Moultrie in the backfield with Dawson.
Here's a snap. Handoff to Moultrie up the middle. He's going to get about 2 yards before he is stopped. Number 4 Francis Nendozi makes the stop for the Panthers, so it's going to be 2nd down and 8 for the Vikings at the 46-yard line. Moultrie in the backfield. Now we've got 3 receivers left, 1 right. Here's a snap. Dawson throws to the left side. It's going to be out of the reach of Dayton Dubs. He was the intended receiver. It was a quick throw, and that's now going to bring up 3rd down and 8. So now the Vikings on offense have a 3rd down to deal with at the 46-yard line of the Panthers. Dawson, the quarterback, has got Moultrie in the backfield with him. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Dawson takes a snap. He's going to throw over the middle. It's going to be deep. The intended receiver is number 2, Matthew Shaw, and it's going to be broken up by number 7, Emmanuel Sutton. So that's going to bring up 4th and 8. The ball was well thrown by Dawson. Now there's a flag in the backfield. Oh, and okay, it looks like it's going to be an illegal block called against the Vikings, but that's going to be declined because that will bring up 4th down and 8. So that's going to bring out the punt team for the Vikings with 4th and 8. So, starting with pretty good field position, we can't really move the ball more than 2 yards. Fourth and 8 at the 46-yard line. Caden Hadawi is back to punt. And what's interesting is Hadawi is a quarterback also at times, so there is a chance for something interesting here. He does come around, does the rugby-style kick, and it's going to be fielded. No, it's going to be bounced at the 5-yard line. It's going to roll around. It's going to be down at the 5-yard line. And looked at first like it was going to roll into the end zone. But when the ball hit the ground, it made an immediate right turn toward the sideline, and that gave Bobby Brown, I think it was, the option or the chance to come down there and down it. So Caden Hadawi, excellent job of punting to the 5-yard line, so that's going to pin the Panthers deep. I'm going to call that a 31-yard punt, but more importantly than the number of yards on the punt is where the ball is placed inside the 10-yard line at the 5. So I think that's something sometimes that is misleading when you look at punter statistics. If you look at the average yards on kick, they should have a average number of times they pin the other team inside the 10-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Panthers at their own 5, a full house backfield. It's going to be a handoff. It comes around the left side close, and he's going to be run out of bounds at about the 10-yard line, maybe the 9-yard line. Number 33, Javon Moore for the Vikings, ran the play out of bounds at the 9-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 6 now for the Panthers. 4:24 to go in the 2nd quarter. Panthers lead 21-14. Full house backfield again. Here's a snap. This time it's a keeper up the middle, and he only gets to the 10-yard line. Bobby Brown right there to make that tackle.
Craft on the keeper. Bobby Brown making the stop, number 29.
I'm just going to say that the opponents need to know who they're running toward when they see Bobby Brown. Saw him in the hallway at the school the other day. He is a mountain of a man.
Gain of a yard, 3rd down.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 5 for the Panthers at their own 10-yard line. An important 3rd down here for the Viking defense. Now they've got 2 receivers right, 1 left. Got 2 in the backfield. Here's a snap. He throws over to the right side immediately, and it's going to be caught. Oh, in traffic, and that's going to be, well, now I'm seeing mixed signals. Oh, they're signaling it is a catch at the 32-yard line, 31-yard line, excuse me. So that's going to go down, 21-yard pass play on the 3rd down, and it's going to be 1st and 10 Panthers at their own 31-yard line. Here's a snap. It's a pitch over number 2. He's across 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and then he tucks and pushes forward to the 46-yard line inside Lamar territory. Deshaun Gaddy was making the touchdown-saving tackle there. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the Viking 46. It was a pitch out, quick pitch over to the left side. He ran all the way. It's going to be a snap. Now Kraft keeps it up the middle across the 40. He's making a move to the 35, and he finally gets run out of bounds by Khalifa Gar. So he makes it all the way down to the 31-yard line, and that's going to be 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the 31. Now they've got big-time momentum doing it on the running game. And it's a pitch over to the right side. He gets to the 30. And he's going to be down at the 28-yard line.
Those are awfully close to forward passes. Just as a statistical standpoint.
Yeah, Jay Ryan pointing out these pitches are just completely sideways and almost going forward. So here's the next pass. It's a pass to number 5 at the 22-yard line across the 20. And he's tackled by a whole host of Vikings at the 16-yard line. So Daniel Huggins, Sam Townsend, and Caden Hadawi, Jordan Polk all in on the tackle. And now it's 1st and 10 Panthers at the Vikings 16-yard line. They've got 3 receivers left, 2 in the backfield. In motion. Here's the snap. It's a handoff up the middle across the 15 to the 13-yard line. The ball carrier was number 10, Evans. Cade Tresh made the stop. He gets up a little bit gingerly, but not showing any real signs of pain. So now it's going to be 2nd down and 7 at the 13-yard line. Finally a short gain on this drive. 3 receivers left. Here's the snap. Oh, the read option and the fumble that is picked up by Lamar. Bobby Brown was right there to pick it up. Here's what happened, folks. It was a quick snap. The read option handoff. They were kind of fighting for the ball. The ball came loose. Bobby Brown saw it, said, "That's my ball now." And so a big turnover for the Vikings as the Panthers were moving their way inside Viking territory. And the Vikings will take the ball 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. And again, you give Bobby Brown a chance to make a big play, whether it's just a big stop or pick up a loose ball, and he's going to be on it. So now the Vikings see what they can do with the minute 39. They sure dodged a bullet there because it looked like the Panthers were unstoppable on that drive and possibly go up by 2 touchdowns. Moultrie in the backfield with Jack Dawson. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Here's the snap. It's a handoff up the middle. Moultrie across the 15 to the almost the 20-yard line. They're going to give him, it looks like, forward progress to the 20-yard line. Clock rolling, a minute 30 to go. It's going to be 2nd down and about 7, it looks like. At the 19, on the 20-yard line. Yep, 2nd and 7 at the 20. Well, the clock is rolling, and they're taking a lot of time to figure out this play. They are using up a lot of clock getting this play in. The clock now down to almost a minute to go. Here's the snap. It's handoff to Moultrie. He comes around the side across the 20, 25, 30, tucks forward, and he'll be down at the 35-yard line. Clocks are going to stop to move the chains. So Moultrie gets out to the 36. Now looks like a timeout is called probably by the Vikings. Yep, timeout by the Vikings with 51 seconds to play. So after they took a while to get that play in and called, it did pay off, I guess, because they got out to the 36-yard line, where it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Trying to see if they can get down and score to narrow this gap. It's only a 7-point game. Looked like it was going to have the chance of being a much wider margin before Bobby Brown picked up that loose ball after the fumble on the read option by the Panthers. Some other scores going on Sam Houston is leading North Mesquite 6-2 in the second quarter. 2:30 to go. I don't think they're playing baseball, but that's a 6-2 score. Martin leads Skyline 28-7 with about 6 minutes to go in their second quarter. South Grand Prairie is leading Arlington High 7-6. Less than a minute to go in the second. Mansfield leads Summit 12-0 at halftime. North Crowley leads the Colony 28-14. We're back with live action. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Dawson by himself in the backfield. Here's the snap. Looks, he's going to go up the middle, 35, and he's brought down immediately. And so he's only going to get maybe a yard on that play. The clock is rolling at 40 seconds to go in the half. I believe the Vikings have only used one of their timeouts. And they're using up too much time, it seems like, getting the play in. Now the clock down to 22 seconds. Here's the snap. Dawson throws over to this side. Caught by number 19 at the 45-50. Pushes forward to the 46-yard line. That's going to be Trevon West that made that catch. All the way down into Panther territory. Now a timeout's called by Lamar. Sutton made the touchdown-saving stop there as West had some momentum after he caught that ball and ran up another 10 or 15 yards. 19 yards on the play. So now with 13 seconds to go, and I think the Vikings only have one timeout left after this.
We ain't about to turn that up, try to hit that timeout though. That screwed us up last time.
So now the Vikings, probably, hopefully 2 plays worth of play clock, depending on how long they take to get each play into the field. As they trail 21-14, 1st and 10 at the Panther 46-yard line, trying to make something happen here before halftime. They're back out, ready to go. 2 receivers left, 1 right. 1 receiver in the backfield with Dawson. He takes a snap, looks back. No, he looks like a pass, but he's across the 45 to the 40, and he gets hit just short of the first down marker. And now Lamar uses their final timeout of the half. Dawson, and now there is a penalty flag on the play also. The line judge is talking to Coach DeLay of the Vikings. It's a face mask personal foul against Fossil Ridge. And that's going to bring up an automatic first down, so that's going to move the ball 15 yards further down the field. But there's only 6 seconds on the clock. No timeouts left for the Vikings. That's possibly moving it into field goal territory. It's at the 22-yard line. But they're coming out ready with a play. They probably have just 1 play left here. 6 seconds to go. Okay, they're saying to roll the clock, but the ball's not even, how can they be rolling the clock? The ball's not even, can't roll the clock yet. The back judge, now timeout's called by the Vikings. The Vikings had called timeout, I thought, before the penalty, but that timeout apparently was the official timeout. Now the referee is saying put 2 seconds on the clock. And that'll be the final timeout of the half for the Vikings. I don't understand why he was saying to roll the clock after the penalty and the first down that early. So now there's 2 seconds to go. And he can't start the clock until the snap now because the timeout's been called. I know that much about the rules. So the clock cannot expire before the ball is snapped according to the rules. We'll see what happens on the field with the white hat. Okay, so now it looks like Villegas is going to come out and try a 39-yard field goal.
39-yard field goal attempt by Villegas.
Jack Dawson, the quarterback, will be the holder. Tresh, I believe, is the deep snapper. Villegas is going to try the 39-yard field goal attempt. The snap, the kick is up. It's got some distance, but it's going to go too far left. And that's going to be wide left. So the halftime score will be Foster Ridge 21, Lamar 14, but I'll tell you, it could have been a little bit worse than that had they not fumbled and Bobby Brown not pick up that fumble down inside Viking territory. So a very close game, not exactly perfect on either side of the field for either team. Some mistakes and penalties made. Both teams have a chance to clean things up in the second half. We're going to take a break so you can listen to the halftime band performances, and we'll be back with the action to begin the third quarter in just a little while. This is Lamar Viking Varsity Football, brought to you by the Lamar Viking Football Booster Club.
Not touch Joe. that baby. Our guards led by George Morales and Justin Love. Always, we'd like to thank our royal sponsors, Tobacco Regiment. Also, Panther Regiment would like to wish the Lamar Band best of luck this marching season. We hope you enjoyed our halftime show. Good luck, good night, and go Panthers! Performing for your halftime entertainment, the grand champion Lamar Vikings, under the direction of Miss Lauren Wood and Miss Portia Sin. The Vikings are sponsored by 3DI Design and Design and Paul and Tony Polk. The Bike Queen of the Week is Lakeisha West, and the Spirit Girl of the Week is Michelle Alvarado Ortiz. The Educator of the Week is Mr. Brad Davis. The Social Committee President is Isayana Nahara, Vice President Michaela Graham, Secretary and Historian Sophia Hernandez, and Spirit Leader Aitana Nahara. Bike Queen officers are Lieutenant Jada Beckworth, Lieutenant Kelly Walker, First Lieutenant Lori Wiggins, and Captain Tiffany Owens. And now, sit back and enjoy your Lamar Bike Queen. Lamar Band is led onto the field by head drum major Brooke Fitzgerald and assistant drum majors Chloe Howland and Chappelle Johnson. Tonight, the band will be performing their 2017 competition show, All in a Dream. The member of the week is Ezekiel Arona. Per copyright law, video recordings of tonight's performance are strictly prohibited.
You're listening to the Lamar Viking Band at halftime. 8.5 minutes approximately until kickoff of the second half. The Panthers are winning 21-14. For the moment, we hope the Lamar Viking Band.
Welcome back to the broadcast, folks. We've got about 3.5 minutes to go before Second half is going to kick off here. We've had great performances by both bands here just in the last 15, 20 minutes.
So come out on third.
The score is Fossil Ridge 21, Lamar 14.
Support the JV football as they go against the Martin Warriors.
Both teams have had signs of real momentum and real shining offense and defense, but they've both made their share of mistakes with some turnovers and penalties at very inopportune times for both of them. So the score 21-14, and it looked like it was going to get to about 28-14 as Fossil Ridge was driving down toward the end of the second quarter. But a fumble on a read option play between the quarterback Kraft and the running back, I believe that was Evans that was back there with him. They looked like tussling over the ball. They dropped it, and Bobby Brown broke through the line, picked that ball up, and saved the touchdown drive. Vikings didn't have much time on the clock, and they didn't manage the clock very well, and they got down, tried a 39-yard field goal with time expiring on the clock, and it had the length, but it was wide left. So our score, 21-14 in favor of Fossil Ridge. The Panthers are back out ready to come onto the field. The Vikings haven't come out of their locker room yet. We'll see what kind of adjustments they make, especially for the pass defense. Having some soft coverage at times, trying not to give up the big play, but a couple of times they have. We're glad y'all are listening in on this Friday night up here in Arlington, Texas. Temperature at kickoff was about 90 degrees. The sun's gone down. It's cooled off just a little bit. Not much wind here tonight. And a real pleasant night for football, especially considering we're towards the first part of September here.
What are you doing, a weather report now?
Yeah, I was just doing a little bit of a weather report. Looks like calm winds out of nowhere. Slight chance of rain tomorrow evening into Sunday, from what I understand. We do have some scores from around the area, teams of interest. In the second quarter, 17 seconds to go, Sam Houston leads North Mesquite 12-8. Martin leads Skyline over in Dallas 28-13 at halftime. South Grand Prairie leads Arlington High School. Looks like they're about to kick off in the third quarter. That's 7-6, a one-point game there. Mansfield leads Summit 12-0 with 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. And North Crowley leads the Colony 34-14 coming up on halftime. So North Crowley looks like they've got a high-powered offense, and we'll be seeing them later on this season as they are part of this District 4.
And Bill, who won the, was it Bowie that played last night in varsity?
Marcus came off with the victory there, 21-16 in a Thursday night game.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Lamar Vikings.
And tomorrow evening, Pasco plays Irving over at Farrington Field in the south part of Fort Worth. So the Vikings have come back onto the field. And the Fossil Ridge Panthers are making their way back onto the field now.
So is their mascot a ridge or a panther?
It's a Ridge Panther.
Ridge Panther, okay.
Yeah, not a Ridge Panther, but a Ridge Panther.
Ridge Panther.
That's
Panther that likes to live on the edge?
That's a panther that lives on the edge, exactly right, Jay.
Very good.
And you give us a couple of extra minutes before the game starts, and we'll talk about anything and make up all kinds of great stuff, too. Have you ever seen a Ridge Panther?
I have not.
Yeah, if you ever go out to the
Rocky?
Yeah, go out to the Davis Mountains, which are the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, or the foothills of the foothills. You'll see a Ridge Panther once in a while out there, living on the edge.
Not sure what to do with that.
Some people just say, let it go.
Let it go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to enter the second half, thankfully. No more fill-in. And it's 21-14. Fossil Ridge Panthers over the Vikings. All right, I'm going to let you go back to your webcast. You'll hear me in the background doing PA.
Well, as we mentioned before, we're a little short-handed in our usual crew. Joe Toronto usually does the color commentary for the broadcast. He's out of town, and then
Ryan got sick.
And can't make it up here, but Darren is doing an awesome job. Tim's doing an awesome job.
But he's from OU, so, just got to take it in question. Wearing his OU shirt in the press box here. I don't know. We allow all kinds of stuff.
Wow, so here's an interesting stat Tim just handed to me. Penalties in the first half. Lamar had 1 penalty for 15 yards of pass interference. Fossil Ridge had 70 yards in penalties, including a face mask and a pass interference, and then several false starts on one drive. Here's the kickoff for the second half. It's a pooch kick that's going to be fielded at the 27-yard line. Matthew Shaw, and he gets hit at the 35-yard line. So it's actually, they're going to say he made it to the 38-yard line. So about a 12-yard return, if my math is correct. Well, now we're going to see where they put it. Now it's the 30. Well, I see one guy at the 37. The chain's at the 36. Another guy's at the 38. And he says, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. The ball's at the 37.5-yard line. So they did split the middle. All right, so it's 1st and 10 for the Vikings at their own 37.5-yard line. It's going to be Jack Dawson at quarterback. Got 2 receivers left, 1 right. Here's the snap. Dawson rolls to his right, looking for the receiver, throws way downfield. He's got number 14. Oh, but it's almost picked off, and so it's broken up. Now, number 14, Jonah Balog, was there to make the catch, but then number 23, DJ Taylor, turned around and broke it up just at the last second. So now 2nd down and 10 for the Vikings at their own 37.5-yard line. The play's being sent in by signals from the sideline. 2 receivers left, 1 right. 1 in the backfield with Dawson. Takes a snap. It's a handoff up the middle. He's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage, if not, maybe for a yard loss. That's going to be number 4, Michael Bradley, who took the handoff up the middle. Looks like he's actually going to be stopped for a loss of 2 on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 12.
Leading the charge, number 27, Cedillo. Other Panthers. 3rd down and 11.
Yeah, we'll call it 3rd and 11. Loss of just about a yard. 2 receivers left, 1 right, 1 in the backfield. Dawson takes a snap, rolls to his left. He looks for a receiver downfield, and is it caught? Is it? The ball is down. Yes, a completion right at the 1st down marker at the 48-yard line. Matthew Shaw bringing that ball in.
11 yards on the pass.
It looked like it was a catch, but I'm kind of hesitant sometimes to say if it is, because the official will sometimes see if it hits the turf or not. So 1st and 10 for the Vikings at their own 48-yard line. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Dawson takes a snap. It's going to be a handoff to Bradley up the middle across midfield to the 47-yard line. So Michael Bradley gets about 4 yards. 4 yards on the game for Bradley to the 48-yard line inside Fossil Ridge territory to bring up 2nd down and 6. Upbeat tempo here. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Bradley in the backfield. Dawson takes a snap. He steps back. He's going to throw straight down the field. And it's in and out of the hands of number 23, Jalen Jones. Defending was number 23, DJ Taylor.
Taylor, the defender.
And there's a flag on the play. That's going to be holding against the Vikings. So now the decision has to be made. Do you take the loss of down? No, they're going to take the yardage. So instead of it being 3rd down, it's going to be 2nd down. And about 16, it looks like. Yeah, 2nd down and 16 for the Vikings now at their own 42-yard line. They've got 2 receivers right, 1 left, 1 in the backfield. Bradley with Dawson. Here's the snap. Dawson steps back, throws over to the left, complete to Michael Bradley to the 49-yard line. So he goes across midfield, gets out of bounds to stop the clock, and that's going to be third down and about
Crawford and Cedillo knocks him out of bounds.
7. Third and 7 for the Vikings at the Fossil Ridge 49-yard line.
Inside Panther territory once again.
So Michael Bradley came out of the backfield, went over to the flat, took that pass across midfield. Here's a snap. Dawson steps back, looking to the right side, going deep to Jalen. No, it's going to be, oh, it is caught. Oh, no, but it's dropped. It looked like it was going to be an interception. Trevon West went up there for it, but then number 23, DJ Taylor looked up to get the interception, but then West had a ball in his hands, but then couldn't hold on to it.
Down and 7.
And now it's going to be 4th and 7 for the Vikings.
Hadawi
Hadawi comes out for the punt.
deep, number 5.
Now do remember, Caden Hadawi is also a quarterback, and so I think this sets him up since he can also punt very well if they ever want to try something different. Man in motion coming across the backfield. And now flag on the play. False start against the Vikings.
False start against the Vikings, the call.
So we had Matthew Shaw coming in motion from left to right toward the close side of the field for us. It's going to bring up now 4th and 12. Punt formation again. It was kind of hard to tell if that was going to be a fake punt play. Like I say, Hadawi, a heck of a quarterback in addition to playing punter. Here's the snap. Does the Australian football rules kind of a kick? And it's caught. Oh, at the 25-yard line, he's immediately hit.
Caught by number 5, Cobb.
Cade Tresh put a heck of a lick on him. In fact, Tresh's helmet came off. Number 5, Cobb, made the catch with people all around him. You'd think he would have made a fair catch there, and he was hit immediately.
10 Panthers.
Tough shot there, laid out by number 20, Cade Tresh. Tresh also a baseball player, as is Caden Hadawi. So now the Panthers will start their drive, 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
You have to come out if you're
Yes. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line.
10 is in the back.
All right, both teams back on the field. The quarterback Kraft, he's got number 10 Evans, the running back with him. 2 receivers left, 2 right.
To his right.
Here's the snap. Read option. Now he's rolling around in the backfield. He's got some time. Throws over to the right-hand side and throws it out of bounds. And I'm going to say that would have been kind of the equivalent of a coverage sack had he lost some yardage. There was such good coverage that he didn't have anyone to throw it to, and he was rolling right, running for his life, and just threw it out of bounds. So now to be 2nd down and 10 at their own 26-yard line. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Evans in the backfield. Looks like he starts to call the signals and calling an audible. He steps up to the line, make sure everyone knows the play. Now he's back. Evans to his right. Here's the snap. Steps back, throws over to the right-hand side. Is caught at the 37-yard line by Cobb. He's across the 45-50 into Viking territory. Caden Hadawi and number 1, Deshaun Gaddy in there on the stop. 21-yard pass play. That'll be a 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the Viking 44-yard line.
From the 44 of Lamar.
Here's a snap. It's a pitch to Evans. He goes around the 45 to the 40, and he's going to be brought down at the 39-yard line.
9-yard line.
Number 3, Daniel Huggins. His nickname is Red. Brought the runner down. And now it's going to be 2nd down and 5 at the 39-yard line. So here we are again with the Panthers and some momentum driving the ball into Viking territory. It's a pitch back to Evans, the 40, 35. He's bringing it to this side, and he's hit by Caden Hadawi at the 29-yard line. There's a flag on the play just about where the hit was made. Tell you what, Caden Hadawi is one tough puppy. He just came after that runner, squared off against him. Now we'll see what the flag is all about. Fossil Ridge seems to be walking back backwards, and it looks like it's going to be a penalty against them. It's going to be holding against the Panthers. So that pretty good run, which was probably going to be for a first down, is going to get called back. So 10 yards from the spot of the foul, that's going to put the ball at the 40-yard line. That's going to bring up second down and about 6 for the Panthers inside Viking territory. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Evans in the backfield with the quarterback Kraft. Here's a snap. It's a handoff up the middle, 35-30 for Evans, and he's going to be brought down at the 30-yard line.
Evans brought down by number 5.
Number 5, Caden Hadawi, in on that stop. Hadawi is a headhunter, and that defensive secondary moving around from every part of the field. First and 10 for the Panthers at the Viking 30. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Here's the snap. Handoff to Evans again. He goes across the 30 to the 32, to the 26, 27-yard line.
Gain of 3 yards.
So 3-yard gain will be second down and 7. Now the Panthers in kind of a upbeat tempo. 3 receivers left. Here's a snap. Hand off to Evans, but this time it's sniffed out pretty quickly up the middle. Looks like number 13 for the Vikings, Sam Townsend in on that play, and number 58. That'll be Simone Foster.
Making the tackle.
So now that brings up third down and about 5
1 yard gain by Evans.
at the 25-yard line. Big third down play for the Viking defense here, trying to keep the Panthers from continuing this momentum. 7:45 to go in the third quarter. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Here's the snap. It's up the middle. No, he's going to be caught in the backfield. And that's going to be a big stop. Number 20, Cade Tresh. Cade Tresh just immediately penetrated through the line into the backfield, and that's going to be a loss of 3 yards. And as big as a loss of 3, it's now 4th down. Now what we've seen happen here on these 4th down plays is the quarterback, no, they're setting up for a field goal, and this will be a 45-yard attempt. So Eduardo Mercado is going to attempt a 45-yard field goal. He's a left-footed kicker. 4 seconds on the play clock. 3, 2, 1. And the play clock has expired. They did snap it, but the flag is thrown. That's going to be delay of game, and that's a tough penalty. He might have been able to make that. We don't know, but now it's going to go back 5 yards, and so it's going to be 4th and 13 at the 33-yard line. And now the kicking team goes off. They're going to figure that's just outside of his range. So that was a costly delay of game, not paying attention to the play clock there by the Panthers. Okay, Kraft, the quarterback, comes back. Now he has on the other 4th downs dropped back into a kind of a quick kick position. They've got 2 receivers left, 2 right. Kraft, the quarterback, normal distance behind the line. Steps back. He's going to throw. He throws deep to the right-hand side. He's got a receiver open. It is caught for a touchdown. Wow. So on 4th and 13, 2 receivers over there. Stephon Cobbs is the one that made the catch. But that play was designed all the way just to be a pass over to that part of the field, and unfortunately just burned through both of our defenders. So now the score is Fossil Ridge 27, Lamar 14, waiting for the point after. So it looked like a costly penalty for the Panthers, taking them out of field goal range. Actually turned into a 33-yard touchdown play. Here comes some Mercado kick for the point after. It's up and it's good.
Kick is good.
So that's going to make the score now 28-14 in favor of the Panthers. A scoring drive. ...26-yard official drive. I'm sorry, 74-yard drive. 8 plays, 2 first downs. And then the 33-yard touchdown pass capped it off.
Scoring drive by the Panthers, 74
Well,
yards.
again, it's the passing defense which has burned us on the long plays. So
6:45.
Lamar has some adjustments to make.
Lamar 14, Fossil Ridge 28.
.6:45 to go. Checking for some updated scores around the area. Nothing's really changed too much. South Grand Prairie now ahead of Arlington 14-6. They've extended their lead by 7. And Mansfield is leading Summit 19-0 at the beginning of the 4th quarter down in Mansfield. Well, the teams are back out ready to get this one started again. Back deep. Looks like we have Trevon West and number 1 Deshaun Gaddy deep for the Vikings. Eduardo Mercado to do the kicking for the Panthers. Again, the Vikings moving left to right if you're kind of looking at the field, imagining it. There's a deep kick, and that's going to go into and out of the end zone. So a touchback for the Vikings will give them the ball, 1st and 10. The ball will be placed at the 25-yard line after the touchback, 1st and 10 for the Vikings. And not quite, I don't want to say desperate to get something going, but this is an important drive for them to stay in this game. They need a score on this one.
Jack Dawson, number 7, quarterback. Number 26.
Dawson, the quarterback. Moultrie in the backfield with him. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Here's a snap. He steps back. He's looking for someone. He's going to get sacked back at the 15-yard line. Number 49. That's going to be Arnold Sidov is going to make the sack. Dawson had no protection that time. They were coming through immediately. And now there's an injured player. It's a Fossil Ridge Panther player way back over here at the 49-yard line. And it looks like it might be a cramp. Rachel, one of our trainers for Lamar, is out there. Looks like trying to help stretch a cramp out of his leg. So fortunately, doesn't look to be anything serious. It's going to be number 23, DJ Taylor, for the Panthers, getting his leg stretched out. And now he's being helped up. Well, they were starting to help him up. Now they're working on the leg some more. They're still working on the injured player. We don't have a definite identification of his number yet. Fortunately, it appears to be nothing serious as they're trying to get, looks like a cramp worked out. Now they're helping him up. That is number 23, DJ Taylor. And he's looked like he has a little tightness in his right leg. But he's going to make his way all the way across the field. Walking very gingerly. So once he makes his way off the field, walking very gingerly across there, it's going to be 2nd down and 18 for the Vikings after Dawson was sacked on that last play.
2nd down and 18 for the Vikes. 6:22 remaining in this 3rd quarter.
Well, the Vikings come out. They've got 2 receivers left, 1 right. 1 in the backfield with Dawson. Dawson steps back to pass. He's looking for a receiver, rolls to his right. shakes off one defender. He throws across the middle over there to the 20-yard line. Is caught by number 23. That'll be Jalen Jones.
Jalen Jones.
Short gain on the play, but that's definitely better than another sack, as Dawson was running for his life. Shook off one player pretty well. And that's going to bring up now 3rd down and 16
Yards. 3rd down, 16.
at their own 19-yard line. Trying to get out to the 35 for a first down. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Dawson takes a snap, steps straight back, throws over the middle deep, and it is intended for number 19, Trevon West, but he is not going to be able to make the catch.
It's incomplete.
Jalen Jones was also deep out there, but there was about 4 defenders able to break that play up, and that's going to bring up 4th and 16. So
4th down, 16.
on an important offensive drive, the Vikings aren't able to make any progress there. So the defense is going to have to come out and see what they can do. Hadawi's out to punt. Got a man deep for the Panthers. It's number 5, Cobbs. He's at the 50-yard line. So line drive, kind of a knuckleball looking punt. 5 picks it up his own 45, gets across the 50 to the 45 of the Vikings.
45-yard line.
And that was a flag on the play.
Number 10, Nick Dubs. Number 20,
So Cade Tresh and Dayton Dubs were down there to make the stop at the 45-yard line on the punt return. About a 10-yard return for Cobbs.
10-yard return.
Looked like there was a little bit of contact between a defender and Hadawi after the
Penalty against
punt,
Lamar.
but nothing that was called. Good, no call. But now, unfortunately, it's a face mask penalty against Lamar, so that's going to be 15 yards
15 yards.
from the point of the tackle. That's going to take it down to the 30-yard line. So now Fossil Ridge has a gift of a 30-yard field to work with a 14-point lead. I got to tell you, this is a completely different situation than I saw last night. The freshmen playing Fossil Ridge. The B team of Lamar beat Fossil Ridge B team 38, I believe, to nothing, and then the A team won 53 to 8. I know things change as you move up in levels, but we do have some additional talent moving up in the future. But tonight, the varsity is trailing by 14. Here's the snap. Kraft is back. He throws over to number 14 at the 30. He's going to shake off one tackler. Then the turf monster gets him at the 25-yard line.
Complete to Hurst. Jalen Hurst.
It's going to be Jalen Hurst that made that catch. And number 47,
47 on the tackle, Jeffrey High.
Jeffrey High, made the stop for the Vikings. That was about a 4-yard gain, so it's going to be 2nd down and 6 at the 26.
Yards on the catch and run.
3 receivers left, 1 right. Here's a snap. Immediate throw to the flat on the right side. Cobb. He's going to be tackled at about the 20-yard line, maybe the 19. Let's see where they say his progress went. And he got exactly to the 20, which was exactly what's needed for the first down. So 1st and 10
Number 20 in on the stop.
for the Panthers. Cade Tresh made the stop there at the 20-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the 20. Nope, now they're moving it to the 19-yard line.
There is an 8 out there.
Yeah, 8.
We don't have an 8. Anderson.
It's a pitch back to this side, to the 20. He has nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped for a loss.
Back
13.
from
Number
Kraft.
13, Sam Townsend, sniffed that out. Number 47, Jeffrey High, I believe.
High in on the stop.
So Townsend and High teamed up to follow that pitch play for a loss of 2 yards. So it's 2nd down and 12 at the 21. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Here's a snap. Throws over to the left-hand side. It's going to be caught, but immediately tackled at the 17-yard line. Number 12, Terrell Gant, made the catch, but he was hit immediately.
Immediately brought down.
And now it's 3rd down and 8 at the 17-yard line. Big 3rd down play here for the Viking defense. They need a stop on this 3rd down.
And Evans in the backfield.
Evans in the backfield with Kraft. There's 3 receivers right, 1 left. Here's a snap. Throws. He looks to the right. Throws over to the right side deep in the end zone and is caught. That was a perfectly placed ball. That's going to be a touchdown for the Panthers.
Touchdown.
And at first, it looked like he was overthrowing it, but the receiver knew where that ball was going to be put And with the darkness over in the corner of the end zone, we believe it was number 17, Travis Newell. Thanks, Darren, for the spotting on that. It's hard to see in that kind of a little bit darker corner of the end zone. So now it's 34-14 in favor of the Panthers. Mercado to come out and try for the extra point.
Alvarado, number 93 to snap, number 11 to hold. That's Causey.
The snap, the kick is up, and it looks to be good. Yep, and that brings the score to Fossil Ridge 35, Lamar 14. That scoring drive was 30 yards, 4 plays, 1 first down, and the 17-yard touchdown pass that capped that off and brought the score to 35-14.
The Panthers, 4 plays, 1 first down, 2:06.
Well, not where the Vikings want to be on the scoreboard and really with certain things in their pass defense. So, you don't ever want to lose a game, but if you're going to lose one, it's non-district, and there's a lot of good learning opportunities. The game's far from over, but there's a lot of good things to be learned and things to work on. 3:19 left to go in the third quarter. So we've got Deshaun Gaddy and Trevon West back deep as usual. Mercado's out there for the Panthers, putting the ball on the tee. And sometimes he's been pooch kicking it, and sometimes it's been a deep kick. We'll see what he does with this one. Here's the kick. It's going to be fielded by Gaddy. He's across the 20-25, 30-yard line. So Gaddy gets out to about the 32-yard line. So a good return by Deshaun Gaddy will set the Vikings up with some pretty decent field position. Be first down and 10 at their own 32-yard line. So Moultrie's going to be in the backfield with the quarterback, Jack Dawson. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Now more than ever tonight, this is an important drive for the Vikings, needing to get something on the scoreboard. Here's the snap. Dawson steps back, throws to the flat to Moultrie at the 30. He makes his way to the 35-yard line. And he's tackled at the 36-yard line. So it's going to be second down and 6 for the Vikings at their own 36-yard line. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Moultrie in the backfield. Here's a snap. Dawson takes it. Oh, he's going to get sacked. He had nowhere to go. Kind of got blindsided by number 49, Arnold Saidov. Boy, no one had Saidov covered, I don't think. He came in and blindsided Dawson. And that's going to be a loss back to the 30-yard line. So it's 3rd down and 12 now for the Vikings, and here they are in 3rd and long situation. Not their friend. Flag on the play. It's a deep pass, and it's, oh no, it looks like that could have been interference down here. A flag on the play as soon as the ball was snapped. Offsides against the defense.
Offsides called against the Panthers.
So now it'll be 3rd down and 7 from the 35-yard line. That pass was intended for West, I believe, but he was hit before the ball got there. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Moultrie in the backfield. Here's the snap. It's a pass over to the left side, and it's going to be incomplete. So now it's going to bring up 4th down and 7, another punt situation for the Vikings. Looked like it was intended for number 10, Dayton Dubs.
Incomplete. 4th down, 7 from the 35-yard line.
Caden Hadawi's in to do the punting again.
Back is 5.
Number 5, Cobbs, is deep back for the Panthers, standing on his own 35-yard line. Here's the snap. Hadawi takes the ball, kicks it. It's a good kick. He draws him back. Oh, it hits at the 21-yard line, rolls back to the 15, now inside to the 10. So Hadawi with another great punt because it was not able to be fielded. It was sort of a low, not much of an arch on that. A line drive. So that's a 45-yard punt. 55-yard punt for Hadawi. And again, as impressive as the yardage on that is that they're pinned at their own 10-yard line. So twice now Hadawi has gotten him to the 10-yard line or inside. His previous punt got him inside to the 5. But we've got to stop him here, down 35-14, 1:46 to go in the third. Looks like Isaiah Holt in the backfield. Kraft takes the ball, hands it off. It's up the middle to the 10, out to the 15. Number 45, Javion Moore on the tackle. That's going to be a 6-yard gain out to the 16-yard line. And that's going to bring up 2nd down and 4 for the Panthers. They are relentless even with the run game now. 2nd down and 4 for the Panthers, their own 16-yard line. Here's a snap. Kraft throws to the left side to number 14, Hurst. He's met immediately by Khalifa Gar. And Hurst looking over at the ref saying, hey, he grabbed my face mask. And the ref says, no, I don't think he did. I didn't see it. So no call there. Now less than a minute to go in the third quarter. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 5 after a loss of 1 yard on that completed pass play. Khalifa Gar doing a great job of hitting Hurst right after the catch was made. Number 22, Holt in the backfield with Kraft. 3 receivers right, 1 left.
Kraft and Holt in the backfield.
Here's the snap. Kraft throws to Hurst to the 20-yard line, shakes off Gar to the 25-30, and he's finally dragged out of bounds at the 35-yard line, 36-yard line by Caden Hadawi. And Hurst a little bit bigger than Hadawi, but Hadawi just grabbed onto him and wasn't letting go. Big gain on the play, but Hadawi potentially keeping a touchdown from occurring there after Hurst shook off Gar immediately after the catch. 1st and 10 now. Ball's at the 37-yard line. Clock ticking down, about 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Here's the snap. Handoff up the middle. Holt up to the 40-yard line. Looks like he's going to make it to the 41 as time expires in the quarter. 4-yard gain. So the end of the third quarter and our score, Fossil Ridge 35, Lamar 14. And as we come back, it'll be 2nd down and 6 for the Panthers at their own 41-yard line. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Vikings will face South Grand.
All right, we're back to live action here to start off the fourth quarter. It's 35-14 in favor of the Fossil Ridge Panthers. They have the ball second down and 6 on their own 41-yard line. Now moving left to right. 2 receivers right, 1 left. And now they've got confusion and they're having to burn a timeout. Not that it's probably going to affect them too much, but immediately having to call a timeout to begin before the clock even started rolling.
On Fossil Ridge. By Fossil Ridge.
Well, college football is getting started this weekend. Some pretty exciting games and pretty much non-conference play all across the country. Darren, who does Oklahoma play this week?
That is a great question. One for which I have no answer.
What happened in that Ohio State game last night?
They blew out Illinois.
Killed 49-21.
So Ohio State won 49-20. I think it was. I heard it was close for a while, 14-13 and a half, but then they came away with it. Of course, I'm interested in the A&M UCLA game that's going to be happening on Sunday. I'm actually going to go out and watch that game and hope my Aggies can take care of business against them 2 years in a row. Rangers are up 6-4. We just heard.
Plays UTEP.
OU plays UTEP this weekend. Okay, back to live action. 2 receivers right, a man in motion. It's a pitch to Hurst. He takes a cut up the middle to 40, and he's going to be stopped at the 45-yard line. Number 33, Javon Moore, leading the tackle for the Vikings. So now it's going to be 3rd down and 2 for the Panthers at their own 45-yard line.
Stop, number 33 for the Vikes.
So let's see if the Vikings can do something with a 3rd down stand here.
3rd down and 2.
2 receivers right, 1 left. 1 in the backfield with the quarterback Kraft. Holt is the running back. Takes a snap. Fake handoff up the middle by Kraft. And let's see where it's spotted. This is what's going to be important. It looks like he just about has it. Yep, and they're saying it is a 1st down. Exactly. So now it'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers.
In on the stop, Bobby Brown, number 29.
Bobby Brown had the stop. You know, it's interesting. Had they come out for measurement, it might have been just a hair shy, but it looks like it was spot on. They moved the chains right away, but it looks like it could have been a hair short. Regardless, it's 1st and 10 for the Panthers at their own 47-yard line. Holt in the backfield, along with number 20, Ramos. It's a pitch to 22, Holt, and he's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. And it looks like Huggins, number 13, was in on that. Number 13, Sam Townsend, and number 3, Huggins.
Sam Townsend also in on the stop.
Kate Tresh over in that area, along with Jordan Polk. They had quite a few Vikings that were sniffing out that pitch play to Hurst around the right side. 1 yard gain on the play, so it'll be 2nd down and 9 at the 48-yard line, just inside Fossil Ridge territory.
Fireworks. Chew hits on the run.
Here's a snap. It's a handoff up the middle to number 10. He bounces off the line of scrimmage, crosses over the 50, across the 45. There's a flag on the play. Caden Hadawi makes the stop shy of the 1st down, but we got to see what the penalty flag. It's holding against the Panthers. So the good run, but the important stop by Hadawi are all going to be brought back, and it'll be a 10-yard penalty against the Panthers. So instead of about 3rd and 1, they're going to now have 2nd down and
2nd down and
19.
From the 38-yard line.
So 2nd down and 19 at the 38-yard line for the Panthers. Hadawi and Deshaun Gaddy are the ones in the secondary for the Vikings. 2 receivers left, 1 right.
Evans
1 in the backfield.
Ramos in the backfield.
Evans steps back. He's going to throw deep down the middle. He's got Hurst in his target, and Hurst makes the catch with Khalifa Gar basically wrapped around him. Hurst had just enough of a height advantage. think that's her. Is that 13 or 14 that made that catch?
14.
Okay, it is Hurst. Okay. And Khalifa Gar had him covered, but he had just enough of a height advantage to get that ball and bring it in. And that's a huge first down for the Panthers at the Viking 18-yard line. 1st and 10. Again, burned by the long pass play.
1st and 10 from the 18-yard line.
Here's a snap. 10 takes it around the outside, across the 15, across the 10-yard line. And he's going to be stopped by a whole bunch of Vikings inside the 5-yard line. And Caden Hadawi not letting go. He led the charge on that tackle, and a bunch of other Vikings joined in. But now it's going to be 1st and goal for the Vikings at the 4-yard line.
1st and goal, Panthers.
The Panthers lead 35-14 with 8:40 to go in the game, and they're knocking on the door again. 2 in the backfield with the quarterback Kraft. That's Evans and Ramos. 2 receivers right, 1 left. And now there's a penalty flag on the play as a delay of game. The play clock expired before the ball was snapped. Be a 5-yard penalty, put the ball back at the 9-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal from there. See what that does for the play calling with 5 more yards of field to work with. Again, 2 receivers right, 1 left. 2 in the backfield with Kraft. Ramos in motion. It's a handoff to Holt up the middle, and he's going to go just inside the 1-yard line. So number 29, Bobby Brown, pulls him down at the half-yard line. I think he was just inside the 1, so now 2nd and goal inside the 1-yard line. And I'll tell you, that shows a lot of fight. You know, you could just say, well, the guy's run 9 yards, he's about to go in the end zone. But Bobby Brown says, no, you're not going to get that extra half yard and get that score. I'm going to do everything I can to keep you out. And I like that kind of fight, even when you're down. 2 receivers left, 1 right, 2 in the backfield. The snap, up the middle, touchdown Evans. And that's going to be a touchdown for the Panthers. And that's going to bring the score to 41-14. Well, a tough outing. It started tough with a couple of big plays in the first quarter. Fossil Ridge went up early 14-0, and the Vikings held it to within 7 a couple of different times. But here in the second half, the Vikings have done nothing on offense, and the Panthers have pretty much run the field and passed the field at will. Here's the extra point kick. It's up, and it's good by Mercado. And now the score, Fossil Ridge 42, Lamar 14. 7:17 to go in the game.
Scoring drive, 90 yards, 8 plays, 4 first downs, 6 minutes, 23 seconds.
90-yard drive, and it's kind of a tough thing to see after that beautiful punt by Hadawi pins them back inside the 10-yard line. But Fossil Ridge moves the ball 90 yards in 8 plays, 4 first downs in the process, 6:23 off the clock. Capped off by the touchdown run by Evans.
Bottom of the 6th inning, Rangers extend their lead over the Angels, now 8-4. Deep for Lamar, number 1,
Deshaun Gaddy and Trevon West are back deep for the Vikings, back at around the 10-yard line. Mercado puts the ball on the tee. Some of his early kicks were pooch kicks, but he's been kicking most of them deep here of late. And here comes the kick. It's deep. It's going to be fielded by West at the goal line. He's going to come out to the 5, to the 10, working around the far side of the field, around the 15, 20. And so took the ball 20 yards on the return from the goal line to the 20-yard line. Well, now he made it to the 23-yard line. So 23 yards on the play, on the return. 1st and 10 Vikings at their own 23-yard line. Well, Martin is extending their lead over Skyline, 43-20 now at the end of the 3rd quarter. South Grand Prairie leading 21-13 over Arlington. Mansfield leads Summit 26-6. North Crowley leads the Colony 40-21. So all of the other teams in our district having good nights tonight. Lamar, not so much, as they take the ball 1st and 10 at their own 23, the Vikings do. Here's the snap. Dawson steps back. A little screen pass to the 20, to Michael Bradley to the 25-yard line.
Catch by Michael Bradley.
So he's going to get about 3 yards on that play to the 26-yard line. That'll bring 2nd down and 7. Sutton and Cedillo on the defense there for the Panthers. Here's the snap. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Bradley, he fumbles the ball as he is hit, and that's going to be recovered by Fossil Ridge, number 33, Mulango. So just exactly what the Vikings didn't need, a turnover as Bradley was hit. He made some pretty good short yardage, but took a hit straight up in front of him and knocked the ball loose. And that's going to set Fossil Ridge up with a 1st and 10 at the Viking 29-yard line. .6:34 left in the game. The Vikings now kind of pinned back, trying to make another stand here if they can to keep the Panthers out of the end zone as the Panthers lead 42-14. Kraft is the quarterback. Now there's a timeout called. Timeout, Fossil Ridge. They come out, get set up, and then someone calls a timeout. Now they're bringing some subs into play. I see number 18, Colis is coming in at quarterback, and number 21, it looks like Grilke is coming in the backfield with him. So with the big 42-14 lead, they're going to give Kobe Kraft, their starting quarterback, a bit of a break, and Colis is coming in.
Got a quarterback for the Panthers, Scotty Colis, number 18.
Number 18, Scotty Colis. 21, Grilke and Holt are in the backfield with him. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Handoff up to number 22, up the middle to the 25-yard line. That's going to be about a 4-yard gain. Number 45, Javion Moore made the tackle for the Vikings. It's going to be 2nd down and 6 for the Panthers at the Viking 25-yard line.
Minutes remaining.
Here's a snap. It's a handoff to number 22. It goes around the left side across. Oh, it was a fake. I got faked out too. So Reese kept the ball. Goes up the middle across the 25 to the 22-yard line.
To the
21-yard line will be 3rd down and 2 at the 21.
3rd down and
I think almost all of us up here got faked out by that play. Every one of us. Even the clock operators got faked out on that one, I think. Sitting up here in the booth with us. 2 receivers left, 1 right. 2 in the backfield. Solis gets the signal from the sideline. It's a handoff to 22 this time. He goes across to the 20 to the 15, and he's going to be stopped there. That's going to be Holt, the ball carrier. Number 21, Javante Kemp, in on the tackle for the Vikings. Now getting down to 5 minutes left in the game. And that's a first down and 10 for the Panthers at the 15-yard line. Would be nice to see the Vikings defense kind of stand up here and not let them in the end zone. At number 35, Jarrett Hart in the backfield with Solis. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Here's a snap. It's a handoff to Hart. No, it's not. It's a fake again. Solis looks like the read option, and I didn't read the play very well from up here. So Solis gets caught behind the line of scrimmage. He's stopped back at the 18-yard line. That's going to be second down and 13 now.
Second down and 13. From the 18.
2 receivers left, 1 right, 2 in the backfield with Solis. 4 minutes now to play in the game. Handoff to number 35, goes around the left side, across the 15 to the 14-yard line. That's going to be Jarrett Hart.
Jarrett Hart taking the handoff.
Makes his way down to the 12-yard line.
Down to the 12, third down, 7.
3rd and 7 for the Panthers. Now number 22, Holt's going to come back into the game as Hart leaves. It looks like we have Grokey and Holt in the backfield with Solis. 2 receivers right this time, 1 left. Looks like they're going to be satisfied with a lot of run plays here just to eat up some clock. And it's going to be a handoff to the right side across the 10. Holt down to the 6-yard line. The tackle's going to be in part by Huggins. And number 15, who I don't have a name for. We'll call him Anderson for this time. And Javante Kemp also in on the stop. 4th down and 1. What can the Vikings do here with the ball at the 11-yard line? 3 receivers left. 2 in the backfield. Holt to the left of the quarterback. Solis takes the ball himself. He's going to get the first down. He's going to get a touchdown.
Touchdown from 6 yards out.
He had to bounce off 1 or 2 players, but his offensive line put some of our defenders on the ground, and he pretty much had his way to walk into the end zone. And that's going to put the score now at 48-14 with 2:28 left to play. So that turnover, very costly, sets up Fossil Ridge with a short field, and they take advantage of it. 2 possessions in a row that Fossil Ridge has had a short field of about 30 yards, and they've taken advantage of it both times.
Richard Leal, number 65.
Now we have a new kicker in. He's trying to get some attention from the crowd. Number 65, Richard Leal. Looks like a lineman, has a number of a lineman. He comes out, kicks the ball. And it actually just made it over the crossbar, and he's getting a hero celebration on the Fossil Ridge sideline. There must have been some kind of an agreement. If they got to a certain point, he was going to be allowed to go out and kick a field goal. Hats off to Richard Leal coming off of a lineman position in to kick the extra point, and it barely made it over the crossbar.
That's not a pretty kick.
No, it was not a pretty kick, but what counts is the scoreboard, and he'll be able to tell everyone in his family for years about that. Wow. 29-yard drive, 7 plays, 1 first down, capped off by the quarterback keeper, Solis, for the touchdown. And I think equally as impressive as that was the extra point kick by Leal. He's a big guy. Let me just put it that way. A big lineman that came in to make that kick. And the ball barely cleared the players and barely cleared the crossbar, but what a fun thing to see. Not so fun is the score, 49-14. Got Deshaun Gaddy and West in the back deep. Tim just handed me something here pretty kind of interesting. Penalties here. you'd almost expect it to be the opposite. 45 yards in penalties for the Vikings, 105 yards in penalties for the Panthers, but it hasn't held them back at all. The kicker now is number 41, Christian Duran. Duran's going to do his first kickoff tonight as they give Mercado a break from extra points and kickoffs now. He gives a pooch kick to about the 35-yard line. Dayton Dubs picks, Matthew Shaw, picks it up at the 35, and he's going to push his way across the 40-yard line to about the 48. So Matthew Shaw takes the pooch kick. So the Vikings will have 2 minutes and 18 seconds to see if they can go 57 yards and get a touchdown out of this thing to at least put some more points on the board. Dawson's still in at quarterback. Moultrie's going to be in the backfield with him. 2 receivers left, 1 right. 43-yard line, 57 yards to go to pay dirt. It's no, it's not a handoff. It's a pass. Number 22 takes it across midfield. That's going to be Cedric Davis. Caught that ball and then ran about 7 more yards. Ball's going to be at the 49-yard line inside Panther territory. 8-yard gain on the play, 2nd down and 2. 1:55 to go, the clock rolling. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Here's the snap. Read option. Dawson keeps it, goes out to the right side across the 45 to the 44-yard line. He'll get the 1st down. The clock will stop to move the chains. Looks like Yahya Salim made the stop. 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the Panther 44-yard line. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Dawson steps back. He throws deep to the left side, and he's got Dayton Dubs catches the ball at the 28-yard line, goes out of bounds. So 1st and 10 now for the Vikings at the Panther 28-yard line as they're having some momentum. 1:18 to go in the game. Now it's a matter of just can you improve your score a little bit. Here's the snap. Moultrie up the middle. He's going to make it to the 25-yard line. So that's going to be a 3-yard gain. Number 53 led the tackle. That's Josh Hernandez for the Panthers. Now the Vikings 2nd down and 7. The clock rolling, 56 seconds to go in the game. Trying to improve the margin. Dawson takes a snap, throws over to Dayton Dubs. He catches the ball, drops it, picks it back up, gets his home fumble recovery, and now it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the 15-yard line with 44 seconds to play.
Clock is rolling at 40 seconds.
2 receivers left, 1 right. Dawson takes the snap, goes back. Now he's going to have some pressure, rolls to his right, looking for someone, and that's going to be just thrown away into the end zone. We can say that was intended for number 2, Matthew Shaw, but it was thrown over him pretty much out of any kind of harm's way of an interception. So now it's 2nd down and 10. At the 15-yard line, 25 seconds to go in the game. Incomplete pass. Oh, wow. What are the officials doing over there? So there is an injured player.
Shaken up on the play, number 47.
Number 47, Shamar Senegal is shaken up, but he's going to make his way off the field. So when play resumes with 25 seconds to go, it's going to be 2nd down and 10 for the Vikings at the Panther 15-yard line.
Second down and 10.
Here's a snap. Dawson takes it. He goes back, throws into the corner of the end zone. Intended for number 10, Dayton Dubs. It's broken up and it's bobbled. He had maybe a chance to get it, but number 13, Tim Benson, breaks up the pass there. So now it's going to be 3rd down and 10 for the Vikings on the 15-yard line with 18 seconds to play.
3rd down and 10, 18 seconds remaining.
26 has it. He's running.
Moultrie gets the ball. He goes across the 10, across the 5-yard line, and it looks like he dropped. No, they're going to say the ground caused the fumble, so he was down, and he's going to get inside the 5-yard line to about the 4. So Moultrie gets a first down to about the 4-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal. And timeout by the Vikings with 4 seconds to play. So they're going to have one play to see if they can punch it into the end zone from 4 yards out and decrease this margin, which stands at 49-14 currently.
My clock. 21 sounds so much better. Wait a minute. I do have to run the 25 second. Yes, you do.
They're going to make up that difference. When I
Ridge. Ridge.
So with our score of 49-14, obviously this is going to be a tough loss to start the season for the Vikings, and especially at home. But plenty of things to be working on. I know Coach DeLay and his staff are going to find everything positive, and then they're also going to work on the things that didn't work out tonight. And they'll be ready to take on South Grand Prairie next Friday night here at Cravens Field. Here's the snap. Dawson rolls back, throws over to his left, and it looks like Dayton Dubs fell down on his own. That's who the pass was intended for. Clock is going to expire. The final score, Fossil Ridge 49, Lamar 14. Tough one tonight. There were some highlights and not so great highlights here tonight. One shining thing, not too many penalties against the Vikings. They're going to have to work on ball control and turnovers. They're going to have to work on pass defense. And that's going to do it for our broadcast tonight. We want to thank you for tuning in and listening. And we will see you next time. This is Bill Frawley. Our producer is Jay Ryan. Up here also, Tim and Darren. And helping us out with the drive charts and the spotting. VFND.